Hello YouTube, this is Hacker Overlord or MC Instructor or Kieran if you would like to comment that. And this is a little redstone tutorial. So to start off I have here one piece of redstone surrounded by levers. This is just to show you. It will accept input from any of its sides, above it and below it. Yes. Now, over here, you also have to show that it doesn't transfer power vertically upwards. So, yeah, you can't do that. Wishful thinking, but no. Yep, that's redstone, basically. And then we have the block here. Now, this is important to note because a block, while it's actually full and it's not a redstone item, they do conduct energy. So, that's off. None of this is on. Turn that on. You might notice that this block is receiving power, but you might notice, that's what I meant to say it, that this is on and this is isn't. That's actually because the redstone signal is too weak for redstone alone to pick up when it comes out the other side. So only the repeater is strong enough to pick up the signal. Okay, back a little bit to torches. Okay, torches will transfer power, might help if it's on, to here, so anywhere around it in like a big circle, directly above it, but not beside it or below it. So, like diagonally below it. So that's out. It's attached to this block, but this block isn't conducting. This block is because it's pointing into it, but this block isn't. It's sort of like its arse. It won't conduct, but it'll take it up the arse. It sounds a little weird, but you know. See, I turn it on, it will turn off because it's conducting into the block behind it and not into, and then through that block into itself. Okay, and also this is to show the same thing, it will take it from behind. I can't stop saying that. So it's on at the moment, now it's off. It's taking it from behind, conducting into this block, turning itself off because its default state is on, unlike redstone. Redstone is naturally off. This is naturally on, so that's where you get a constant power source from. And here, it is now off because it's been told to do the opposite thing by lit redstone. So it's saying, hey, I'm on, which means you have to be off. I'm off, you can be on. So that's just how it works. But yeah. Okay, next we have the repeater. Will accept input from any of its sides. Will not accept input from any of its sides except behind. Sides won't do anything, so front won't do anything. It'll go up to it, but it won't go behind it. See, one way, that's what the arrow there is for. And there, won't do anything. If it's... Oh, and it also won't conduct from below either. Doesn't work. Oops. And also, repeaters, if it's on, they won't push it into above, so that's useful for like building a bridge over something. If you had a torch there instead, so that works better. And also if you delay it, so that's normal, that's saying it's a 1 tick delay, which is the equivalent of having a 1 redstone torch. So basically, instant, or very close to it. Put on another tick, slight delay, another tick, a bit more delay again, 4 ticks delay. So it has a little delay. So it's a repeater and a delayer, if you want to call it that. And over here we have the magical button. This is also a power source. Essentially what the button does is when you push it, a temporary little bout of power is released. So it powers there, so directly underneath it, directly above it, directly behind it, directly beside it, and here. Now I'm going to explain this because when you hit this button, the block that it's in, which my face is kind of in at the moment, is actually receiving power, which means that's how this gets power. See? This block I'm in, invisible, gets power because that's the block the button is in. The button occupies a whole space, because that's why I can't just go ahead and put like another piece of thingy like there. It doesn't work, because this button is there. So I'm pressing the button in, and this button's block is getting power, and this is technically adjacent to that button. That's why it's getting power. this is also being pushed into this block. It's giving this block power. And out of this block, this is conducting and this is conducting. If I come back here, this is probably worth noting that redstone going into going into a block itself cannot be picked up by redstone. It can be picked up by a repeater, as I showed you before. But another way you could do it is to put the reader before and boost the signal through the block, like I will do now. It works. See? Quite simple, really. Next we have the pressure plate. This is a wooden pressure plate, and that's a stone pressure plate. The difference being wooden will register items, or yourself. I can't stand on this one, but yeah, I'll show you. There we go. See? It works if I stand on it too. Stone won't work for items. I have to stand on it manually. Or a mob. A mob could do that. Okay, so a pressure plate powers all around its sides, directly below itself, and not the block above it. So unlike a button, this block is not receiving power from occupying in that space. It's just transferring power directly into the block below it, and through that, below there again, there, and around the back, and here if I put some down. Yes, yes, yes. And we come across to the lever. It's a toggled power source, so it's on or off. It doesn't turn itself off naturally after you either stop telling it to be on, or like a slight time delay. It's constantly on or constantly off until you tell it to do otherwise. Which is great, except that you have to flick it. It's not great in making automated machines, but for like a light switch and that sort of thing, it's pretty damn good. So below, powers, below, beside, there, that's all because it's going into this block, into the side blocks around it, through this block, and through its floor and into that. See, it doesn't power there for some obscure reason, because that is not getting direct power. That's the obscure reason. I don't know why I said obscure reason, I'm an idiot. It also doesn't power directly above, once again like the pressure plate, and it powers directly coming off that block. So if I was to put a piece of wool, a piece of redstone, same deal. Comes straight out of the switch as well. I'm fairly certain that if I put that there, break you, it doesn't receive power either. So it's not transferring it sideways, just into the block below, and to redstone if it's directly adjacent. And the last note for the switch. You can place them on walls like this, of course. Every good Minecraft goes. That's on. And it will toggle to there, to there, to there, to here, and to there. So in that state it will transfer forward, but in that state it will not. And I would say that is a fairly good rundown of the very, very, very basics of redstone. We're not even looking at gates and stuff yet, except for this. This is technically an inverter, but it just makes things backwards. That's all it does. Don't worry about it. I'll show you some other time. So, rate, comment, subscribe, and I will purge the earth of the sheep if you do so. I like chickens. So yeah, see you soon.